Oh.
Yeah. Say it. You see it? I keep waiting on you to spit.
Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2. Look, getting money every day. No, you can't see me. It's Doughboy and my bro, his name CT. Just a League podcast. Do it slow, not fast. If you talking that trash, we quick, get up on your ass. Woo! Freestyle. I mean, you know I got it every time, every now and again. Every now and again. Why did you start singing though?
Well, brother, I didn't think it was the time nor the place.
We're gonna bring that back to the forefront at some point in this episode. How you feeling, man?
Brother, I'm feeling good, man. Here's the funny thing.
Okay.
I showed up late with a commercial. You understand me?
What? With the commercial?
I came in with Mad Justice League podcast.
I know, right? With the I'm gonna have to get the match. It's the second week in a row you done came with it. I that.
I got something for you, though, boy.
For me?
For you, brother.
Really?
I have a gift for you.
Oh man, this is special.
This is from me to you. As if I didn't just hand it
Justice, the Justice League. I'm gonna drink all of my green tea out of this, man. Shout out to my bro CT. Cheers, man.
Cheers, brother.
How you feeling, man?
You know?
Welcome to another edition of the Justice League podcast.
Yes.
It's me, Doughboy, my brother CT. And before we get started, can you please do us the biggest favor? If you guys like this content, please share the content, like the content, leave the comments. We have been seeing you guys leave the comments. Shout out to the donation and Team CT all day. And just that's how we grow and that's how we do this thing.
First of all, shout out to the donation. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, your fam, I'm going to call your fans your fan base as well because they're family. Your fan base loves you even more than mine loves me. I looked at the comments on your YouTube. They was like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, CT, this CT. I was like, oh, my God, thank you so much. And I go to mine. They like, I mean, you know.
I mean, it's what it
is.
I mean, I guess you're doing your thing.
Keep it going. I'll tune in.
But no, man, shout out to the donation, man. You got to be a special type of person to love a nigga like me because I'm different. And speaking of that, new nickname alert.
Doughboy.
You ready for this?
I'm not ready.
Come on.
I was in the middle of. Let me get. Hold on a second. Okay.
All right.
New nickname alert. Go ahead.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you want to know?
Stupid.
Do you know why they call me Leonardo DiCaprio?
Why do they call you Leonardo DiCaprio?
Because I'm quick to take a nigga girlfriend and tell him, catch me if you can. Yes, I'd be so nervous. Now we can have a good episode.
Tell them catch me if you can.
I'm out, Joe. Yes.
And tell them catch me if
Facts,
you
though.
can.
It's a great movie.
Keep a basketball diary.
I like it. Is she ready for that Inception?
Is she ready?
Side note: next time you do a movie watch with Team CT, do Catch Me If You Can. I want to be there for that.
I will not.
But you don't like the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Cool. It was cool. We watch a lot of comedies and like short little 1 hour or hour and 20-minute joints.
You ain't trying to watch a whole full feature.
Oh my
film.
God, 2 hours. Like BT, he be watching Marvel movies. He's a Marvel guy.
Really?
I would watch DC films, but I don't want to force them. You got to love DC, but I tell you what.
Yo, speaking of that too, I put this on the docket.
Hold on, before you even get to that, let's back up.
Let's back it up.
I get to the elevator today. I get here literally with a minute to spare. With a minute to Cole know what I'm talking about. So I get here, we get in the elevator, right? Doughboy, myself, and Cole. Cole, if you don't know, is white. All right? You got to pronounce that WH. You understand? He is white.
He is.
That's cool. He is also great shape.
Yes.
Okay?
More like
brother,
swole.
He's swole.
Not Cole. Swole.
Not Cole swole.
Swole. Swole Cole.
This is getting off to the wrong start. So look, Cole in great shape. I see him and say, "What's up, shoulders?" Right? Looks like he's been doing push-ups and working out, right? He's like, "Oh, thanks, man. You know, I just trying to do a little bit." It's quiet. Doughboy goes, "Yeah, I've been working out, man."
I don't even know why I said it. That's just how I break up silence. Like,
where did this come from?
I just
Not
wanted you
that
to know.
You haven't, because you have.
Because I was waiting for you to tell me that I look like I lost weight, and you didn't do it.
You see?
Why don't you ever do this for me? God damn it. Don't Dum-dum-dum.
You gotta wait till people hit you with it, man.
Because, okay, I don't know how much you've been paying attention to my content, but you're part to blame for this shit.
I saw a video. First of all,
why do I do this to myself?
I saw you post a video yesterday, and because one of the members of Team CT, my boy Napalm, Hyrule, he was like, "Hey, yo," he's like, "Yo, Doughboy just posted a video." I was like, "What?" He's like, "He got a shirt off." I was like,
"Why do I always take it off?"
And then I was like, "Why didn't I see Doughboy post this?" Right? I'm like, I know I don't have him blocked. I go and I realized I had you muted.
Why you muting a nigga like me?
I had your stories and your posts muted.
What the fuck I do to you?
I'm gonna tell you that.
You say shit.
I muted you around the time that Tim Delagello thing happened.
And you forgot to unmute me.
I forgot, and we 8 episodes in. We
all friends
solid.
and shit's supposed to be real.
Muted you, bro.
So let me tell you what I got myself
Didn't
into.
stop unfollowing.
Thank you for that. That's almost like friend probation.
It is.
When you mute them.
Go sit down.
The unfollow, it's like, don't call me no more.
It's a wrap.
Shit is real.
Yeah. Go sit down. I got so many of the homies muted. Like when I be like, oh man, I gotta go check on them. Okay, cool. Let me get them out. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Okay, because this is the thing. You've known me for years. How long have I been trying to lose weight?
Okay, you've been trying to lose weight
the whole time. The entire time. Think about it. I've always been on 2009. Yeah. It's 2021. And even though I've lost a bunch of weight, I'm like, nigga, either finish the story or stop writing the book. That's really what I told myself. Because I started at 487 pounds. And I said, I'm going to get to 225. Yeah. I got as low as, 250, 245 last summer, but that was off stress and drinking. I didn't really feel good about it. So now I'm just like, I keep going with the weight and shit. And I was just like, you know what? So I put a stamp on it and I put an address on it. I said, by the 4th of July, that we're going to call Independence Day.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Independence Day?
Absolutely.
You got a million of them.
And I'm going to claim my body back and I will be 225 pounds.
I love it.
I'm starting at 280 though. 55 pounds.
Okay, a couple of things to address.
I always jump out the window.
You be jumping, bro.
You be jumping, bro.
You be jumping. Okay. So I always applaud anybody that's trying to better themselves. That's amazing. If you can have that discipline, which you've already had, you already know what to do. You're going towards your personal training. You've lost so much of a chunk of weight. This is gonna be nothing, right? Here's my thing. Two things. One, you wild as hell for that video.
I'm talking about shirt off.
Jeez Louise. And when you took your shirt off, it made me realize something.
Right.
And I told you this when you first lost all the weight. The skin.
Oh yeah.
If that's gone, I promise you're already 220 right now.
I know.
I'm telling you.
And I'm gonna have to finally start having that conversation about what I want to do because it don't seem to just go nowhere.
Bro, did you think it was just gonna go away?
I thought it would. I mean, because some people lose weight and it snatches back. David Goggins. He was super big.
I don't even know.
You know who David Goggins?
Who's David Goggins?
Yo, he's this dude. He went to the military. He was a Navy SEAL. He used to be fat, and he just be running and just giving inspiration. And he used to be like 300 pounds, but like he has no extra skin. And so, like, yeah, I be worried about that sometimes. And that's why a lot of times I take off my shirt because a lot of people that lose big weight, they don't want to take off their shirt. So I be like, I'm proud for us. But then niggas make jokes and be like, oh, you like a stingray in the pool. Like,
oh my God.
I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. Tuck your stomach in. Why? I can't blouse out. Like, it's fucked up. Fuck you up and make you feel weird. I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. But I said, you know what?
Oh, that was a genuine reaction. I am not trying to laugh. That is not funny. Oh my God.
And I be noticing it too, because it don't matter how many push-ups and how many steps, niggas be like, you still used to be fat. Than this.
They don't let you than this?
They don't ever let you forget about it. So I've told everybody that I'm going to do it. And of course I do the things now. You see there's no Diet Coke here.
You got water.
I gave up Diet Coke.
Congrats.
I said I won't drink a Diet Coke until I'm 225.
Wow.
I said I won't smoke weed, because even though I stopped drinking, I smoke weed. I stopped smoking weed.
Okay.
I said I wouldn't do no sugar for real. Like the bad shit. And I told myself my diet would be meat, vegetables, and fruit for the most part.
Pause.
And that I would work out as much as I can. Yeah. And I've been doing intermittent fasting. I only eat between 11 and 7. So I'm real cranky. If I'm a little off, I'm sorry.
You're amazing.
And I haven't had no sugar.
Bro, this is great, man. You and Tangerine, my wife, you had got her started on a no sugar thing. You were like, yo, I ain't doing no sugars, all that. And she was like, all right, I'm gonna do it with you. And she literally is still going doing her thing.
Right. And I felt bad when we was at the movies too, because she was like, I'm on day 3, no sugar. I'm over there with some Sour Patch Kids. Like, I'm a great starter, horrible finisher.
Your start game
is the best.
You should write a book.
Nigga, but my ending game is not existent.
Start.
Exactly. Start. My start should be lit.
Get to page 30 and the page just go
be
blank.
like, what book are we writing? I don't write books,
rest?
nigga. Get the fuck out of here, you goofy nigga. So no, I'm feeling really like I be like cranky and stuff, but and I think I'm like overly sensitive. I thought you were mad at me earlier.
You thought I was mad at you?
Man,
for what?
Because I don't know what it is with our text. I sent you this long ass text.
Yeah.
Said 3 things like, hey man, thank you for this. Hey man, shout out to this.
Yeah.
Thirdly this. And what about tonight? Nigga responded with basically. I should read the
Just
whole
read
thing.
The whole
Okay, let me give him the context.
people deserve to know.
Yeah. Hold on one second. This is what.
I thought I was mad.
I literally
crazy.
did. I'm gonna tell you what I thought about texting you back, and I didn't. So I
had a retort already ready.
I had to keep it racing. I thought you seen the bubbles.
Retort after
I'm gonna
you
tell
read.
you.
Okay.
So this is what I said to him. You listen to this swole code? All right, here we go. Cool. I said I started it off like this. Sup, black man. Hope all is well. Quick update. Thanks for that schedule. Side note. Clayton helped me get a schedule to put my life together because he's a good brother. CT, God damn it, I'm sorry.
Right,
CT, okay. I tweaked it a bit to fit my life and goals, and it's starting to make everything come together. Thanks again for taking the time to help me with that. Secondly, sending over the docket soon. You should have it by 3:30. Thirdly, know you're filming next Sunday. I want to get those scripts to you no later than Friday, so you're good to go. Lastly, is it cool to ride with you today or meet you at the spot? Okay, bye. These hands. Cool. Send the message. This nigga responds with this. And this is how I heard it, you saying it.
Okay.
Whatever you want, just let me know by 6:45, please. That was literally your response. I'm like, okay. And so I was like, this is what I started to respond with. One of my pet peeves in life is when I send people a text message addressing numerous things, and they only respond to the one thing they want to talk about. But then I was like, and I was going back and forth, I was just like, no, maybe he's just doing something else. So I was just like, all right. So I just responded with, bet. I'll meet you there. And then you responded with, okay. I was like, this nigga's mad. No. And I was like, what did I do? He's not going to want to do this podcast with me anymore. What have I done to this guy? I can't have another failed podcast. I just can't. It's just too fucked up. The streets know what's up. It's a liability right now. It's fucked up. So I'm literally like, what did I do? I'm literally going through my mind like, that. Say something. I don't know. And I was sitting there tripping. And then I said, you're like, what's up, dog? I'm like, but you're absolutely normal. So
the streets know what's up.
Come on, man.
No
ain't no
way.
secret.
Listen to me, bro.
Come on, man.
You are the funniest nigga alive. These are facts. It's not even up for discussion.
Bruh. So I was really thinking I had pissed you off.
Okay. Now, can I give you my...
Yes.
Wait, what was going to be your retort?
I was going to just give you another long, like, I was going to be like, and I was going to be like, and I would come over, but I don't want the energy to be weird, so I'll just meet you there.
Got you.
And then I was like, no, maybe he's just going through something. I said, okay, I'll meet you there. So what was your state of mind when you got my text?
Talk about perception. You ready for this?
Text tone is a thing, bro.
It's crazy.
Cole, I don't want to hop out of frame. Can you please hand me that box of those? Because I don't want to sweat out like I did last episode.
That's a fact.
Okay.
Okay. Perception is crazy.
Yes.
I'll tell you from my end.
Okay.
I was driving.
See,
So I read.
You're trying to do safety first.
I read everything that you said, and my thought was, okay, cool. The schedule thing, I'll talk to him about it in person, right? And then the second thing, what was the second thing?
The second thing was, I'll have you the docket. It'll be there by 3:30.
Yeah, and then the next thing was the
scripts that we were talking about.
No.
Well, just
I'm thinking about the writing together.
Okay, yeah.
So for me reading that, the only thing that needed my immediate response was the writing thing, because here we are like 2 hours away.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, if you want to just, let me know whatever you want to do. So this is my time. Whatever you want to do, just let me know by 6:45.
That's
please.
so crazy. I thought you was like, man, fuck all this other shit.
And then you said, you were like, bet. And I was like, cool.
I was mad as fuck.
I smacked both my hands together.
Cool. I was really sitting there at the house tripping like, man, if this shit go left, what the fuck have I done now? I don't know if that's just paranoia. I don't know if that's
another failed.
I can't, man. Come on, man. Streets be like, there's something with that nigga. You're the common denominator. It all goes wrong with you.
Denominator. No, so okay. Well, first I apologize, but I was driving and I was like, I'll just talk to him about everything else.
Right.
But this is the most pressing. I agree with you when you send somebody a long joint and they only respond to the one thing. I've never been that kind of guy.
Right.
But yeah, I was driving and I was like, I don't want to die.
I would have totally understood that.
Yeah.
Had you not even responded, I would have rather you not respond because I don't want people driving and texting.
Can't do that. I cannot.
Perception is everything.
I cannot not respond to somebody's text.
Let me tell you an even further thing, because I was gonna come to your house, and this was the logic that I told myself.
I wasn't there.
This is the logic. This is the logic. No, I was gonna still say that I was gonna ride with you, but the logic that I said was, in my mind, I was like, well, he's clearly upset with me about something. And I don't want to sit in the car and be uncomfortable, make him uncomfortable for 20 minutes to get there. And then it's like, what if we fuck up the chemistry? That's text tone. We need to come up with a series called Text Tone because it's so weird how you could really read something way different than the other person is saying.
We gotta do a segment called
Text Tone.
Text Tone. Because I was gonna do this thing. It was like I was gonna do a whole show on my Patreon that was about me reading these messages from people that really got me fucked up, right? Because I do I don't know if you've ever seen any of them. I do these videos called I'll Be Backs, right?
Yes,
they're like reaction videos.
Love them.
Thank you, man.
Side note, can I say something about that?
Please.
I genuinely be despising the side-by-side whole concept.
Yeah.
But I love yours.
Thank you, man.
I normally be like, man, side-by-side, schmide by schmide, but yours, I love it. So go ahead, finish. I love yours. Yours are funny.
By schmide.
But I like your shit.
I've been doing those videos. And people always will have a difference of opinion, right? That's natural. That's the world. But there was a time on my Facebook page, people don't really say nothing crazy to me on Instagram because it feels like it's more direct.
Right.
But on Facebook, strangers would just be saying the craziest shit to me, and I'd be like,
I'll
hey,
beat your ass in real life.
Yeah. Like, don't let this little smile I'm starting this video off with
get
what I'm
saying?
saying?
You fucked up.
Like, fam. So I had racked up so many of those. I was like, I'm gonna just do a show on my Patreon where I just read these messages, and then I didn't get around to it because I was doing so much other content for the Patreon. And now that you say it, that could be something we do together here.
We should do that. And fans, people from the donation and from Team CT all day, send us your crazy text tone conversations, and we can read them on the air. Because I think that this must happen to more people.
Oh yeah,
and it's just genuine. That's why I most times will look to call before a text because I feel like so much tone is lost in translation of a text.
I'll also tell you, I made up my mind about 4 years ago that you in particular could never upset me again.
Really?
Yeah.
I had already maxed out my piss you off points?
Yes, because I had already thought about how you are. Oh my God. You had done so, and I told you every argument we had was because I was trying to help you.
Facts.
And this is the truth. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I getting so angry at this guy? This is what I want to start this off with. This is something I thought about earlier today. I want to applaud you for being the best version of Doughboy I've ever seen you be.
Side note, when you texted me that the other day, I cried.
Really?
I cried. That was something. I don't want to let's just move on so I don't start crying about it again. But I felt so good because some of the stuff I've been through, and it made me feel so good when you said that. So thank you for saying that.
Like, bro, let me tell you something. The work that you have put in, you literally try your best. You don't flake, but you try your best not to flake. You communicate as clear as possible. You don't just go off the grid. Also, you're just not a drunk saying wild shit. Because there was one time you were drunk, bro. We never talked about this while you were sober.
Right. There's so many stories that people suppress from me that I don't even be doing.
Bro.
I just said some shit. But what did I say this time?
At least you have the alcohol to blame. I've never drank
and the bipolar. Don't forget, I got the double doser.
You got that double up. You got that double up. But by me never doing either of those, when people don't like me, they genuinely don't like it. But like, no, you said this. I'm like, I don't remember. But that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you Jade.
Okay.
Jade, who used to stay
with
Jade and the guy
James.
Okay, yeah. So you, Jade, and James. James is one of his old homies from up top.
Shout out to James.
Shout out to James. Really cool guy.
Yeah.
Jade, super sweetheart. She's a realtor now. She was an actress, and she was staying with Doughboy.
Remember this? They hear it every time you bang the table.
No, I do this.
Oh, okay.
You do that.
Yeah, I got the fat hands.
Yeah, when I played the playback, couldn't hear me do this.
Gotcha.
So, I want everybody to be in trouble. Hey, remember, you can't.
Remember what the fuck you did, nigga.
So we at your house one night, and Jade. Oh man, it was the perfect opening, bro. So this is this is me and Tangerine brand new, right? Brand new. So brand new that you still gonna be like, hey, look, if somebody trying to get this thing,
it's still out on the table.
It's on the table. You understand? So
I'm still outside.
It's outside. So Jade says something like, she's like, I think we were talking about sex, right? And then Jade is like, blah blah blah. Talking about men's sizes and things, and then I literally was in mid response, like I was like, And then Doughboy was like, oh, he got a girlfriend. Anyway, and I was like,
as I took another swig of that cheap vodka.
the cheap
the damn is some goddamn jokes. Give it to me, bop.
I was like,
and I know not to do that.
And her response was like, oh, okay. And then she started looking at James, and I'm like, Doughboy, right? And it was just hilarious. And I was like, but that's just an isolated incident.
Right.
But my point is, like, I had made the idea up a few years ago that I'm like, I'm not going to be mad at Doughboy anymore, not because of you going through what you were going through, but I had made the conscious decision, like, yo, with your friends, you know who your friends are.
Facts.
I know, and this is at the time. I'm not talking about now.
Right.
I said Doughboy's flaky. He's not going to be there when you need him to be there. So Doughboy's flaky. BT can never do something if you tell him a time. It's got to be his idea.
Right.
Hey, BT, you want to go to the movies? Let's see. I got Vegas. I got San Antonio.
Yeah. Commitment issues.
Commitment issues, right? Nate Jackson. Nate is always going to be the biggest voice in the room.
Always.
So it's like, you're like, oh my God, Nate, just let me
get a word in edgewise, Nate.
Is it all right? Right. So, and then, Tahir and Tony Baker, like the list goes on and on as far as what, your friend's characteristics are about. And I was like, I'm not going to get angry anymore for them being who they are. I just have to work around who they are. So with me, with you and I's friendship, it was like, okay, if you want Doughboy to show up to something, invite him to something and don't be expecting him to just be there at that moment. Just be like, hey, we're doing this thing. If you want to come, cool.
Right.
And if you come, oh, amazing.
Even better. But if not, there's no, oh, you did the Doughboy thing again. Right.
So I stopped being angry. I didn't get angry again until the Tim Delgado thing, and then it was solid.
Well, no, and I want to give you your flowers too, and then we can get into the other stuff too. But I want to tell you thank you for last Sunday.
What happened
last
Sunday?
You know what happened last Sunday. So I was going through a moment.
Oh,
super just going through stuff. Now I get in those worked up, ramped up moments sometimes, and I don't always, know how to get out of them. Like whether it's trying to fight alcoholism or not knowing, or not knowing if the bipolar shit is starting to kick up. Like if this is a episode or whatever. So like I had not slept one day last week, and then everything started to it goes left for me. And so then I was up late that night and I was tripping, and that happens with me sometimes. And so it was like 3-4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and when I start getting those moments and I start having that little pacing, when I start having those little pacing moments or whatever, then I have to reach out to people. Like, I'm saying? Tony was asleep at the time. And like, she's like, when she's really asleep, I try not to, she loves to sleep. So I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna let her sleep. And so then I text 4 people that I know. Text you, text J. Russ. I think I text Akash too. And I text Teddy. You're the only person that texted me back.
Which number was I?
You're first.
You got
me.
Right.
And you hit me back. Nobody else hit me back, right? So nobody else hit me back.
It was also 4 in the morning.
It was 4 in the morning.
By the way.
Yeah. So I get it. And then shout out to all them. They all called me when they woke up. So I get it. But we talked, man. And a lot of times, like, because I be feeling so, like, insecure about even saying that, I'll be like, I just needed to talk to a friend for 5 or 10 minutes. And it was just a regular conversation, not really about nothing. And after I got off the phone, I went to say everything was fine. So I want to say thank you for just being a real friend. Because a lot of times I won't reach out of thinking I'm bugging somebody. But you didn't make me feel like that. So thank you for having my back that day.
I be up damn near every night till 5 a.m. That's not a conversation I want to get into. But like, how many times like people have gone through something and it didn't end up in a positive light.
Right.
And then their friends are always like, oh, why didn't they just call me? Or I should have been
exactly
there. But they don't realize the moments where you should be there.
Facts.
And I'm like, hey man, I'm up. I ain't doing nothing. What's cracking, Playboy?
Facts. And I had that happen to me last year before I had relapse. I was calling everybody. I was calling the operator and nobody was talking. Nobody was talking to me.
Well, first of all, the operator needs to be fired if they didn't pick up the phone when you call.
But thank you for having my back like that. And speaking of people having friends and stuff happen to friends, DMX, did you hear today?
Yeah, man.
So DMX. So first of all, before we even start the story, we want to send prayers and nothing but good, positive energy to brother DMX for a safe, speedy recovery.
Yes.
Apparently he had a drug overdose and he was fighting for his life. He's still, fighting for his life. He's not 100% out of the woods. So, instead of just us being like, just kind of, giving that dark, that dark situation energy, I want to just ask you, first of all, what's your favorite DMX record? Like what's, because DMX is just that guy. Like, what's one DMX song that kind of sticks out to you, and what's a good DMX moment for you, just in life in general?
Okay, so moment, I remember, I think it was the 1999 Grammys, right? I'm in like 7th or 8th grade, I can't remember. And this is when he wins so many Grammys back to back. And I remember, like, this is the first time I'd ever watched the Grammys and paid attention. Because, you know, you're a kid. You ain't paying attention. And he went to the stage back to back to back to back. And I remember being a kid, I could tell you what he had on. He had on this brown butter leather jacket, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And his wife was there, and he got on stage and he was like, you know, just thanking everybody. And he thanked his wife for being there with him through the good times and the bad times, and he thanked his fans. And I wasn't a big fan of his music. Like, you know, you had to hear his music,
right? But
it was like, I didn't go get his stuff. Like, I went and got Usher's album, or when it was like, yo, gotta get that Jay-Z, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that moment, he earned my respect as just somebody who loved his journey.
Absolutely.
And then my favorite song by DMX came out shortly after, called "Who We Be." Dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end. It was so positive. Yes. It was like, it gets you pumped.
Yeah. I love it. He was singing before a lot of these dudes.
Man, it was crazy.
Facts, man. Yo, I have a special connection with DMX just because he always wears his heart on his shoulder.
Yeah,
he
similar to you.
hide. Yeah, so I actually took a lot of notes in becoming an entertainer by watching him. My number one song from him, hands down, is Slipping, Falling, Can't Get Up, because he was just being so, I had never heard, and you know, my introduction to him before that, he was just this tough dude, like, you know, shut him down, but he was just really being vulnerable in that moment. I was just like, bruh, I really rock with this. So that's one of my top 5 favorite songs in general.
Wow.
And then my moment from DMX was a line that he said in the movie that I just always, whenever life gets too complex, I think of this line and it calms me the fuck down.
Okay.
That nigga said, when it rains outside, niggas get wet. And I was just like, that is such a, it's so true. Deep and simple at the same time. Side note, while we're talking about DMX, and we all love DMX, can we talk for 2 seconds about the ending of Belly? Like, because Belly was everything, right? The first scene of the movie might be sonically one of the best scenes that we ever seen, right?
Okay.
And Belly's one of my great favorite movies.
All right.
So at the end of the movie, I just feel like the writers were just like, nigga, we are out of money.
Yo, it was like 8 different movies. It was like, well, how did we get here?
And then Nas was just like, yeah, I'm going to go to Africa. We never seen him in Africa. And then it's an assassination plot of a minister. It's like, nigga. I think that they dropped the ball on the execution on the ending of Belly. So
I feel like what if the writers finished the movie, right?
Right.
But the editor was like, oh, you're not going to give me money?
Oh, you want this movie back? All right. Oh, you got half my money. Well, you got half your goddamn plot of your movie.
Cutting off the other end of the movie that we need to make sense.
He took out all the shit that would have tied it all together.
We need the belly cut like we had Snyder cut, bro. I need the belly cut.
That's what we need. I didn't see that original script because the nigga done fucked it up at the end. Which leads me to another one of my another talking point I want to talk to you about.
Wait, before you say the talking point, what was the thing at the beginning of the show that you saed, this is right before we started recording, you were like, I'll tell you about that.
Oh, no, I think it was just about me not eating and I was just in a bad mood.
Got you.
So it was just like,
not
about my little edgy. The sugar. Yeah. No, I've been cutting down a lot and I've just been drinking water. You know I need my Diet Cokes.
Hey, man, you don't need the Diet Coke.
Man, why don't you join this mission with me? This is what this is all about.
Oh, no.
I've been waiting for you to jump in and be like, I'm going to do this with you.
I know you've been waiting.
As the Justice League.
No.
Come on, man.
No. Here's the funny thing. I thought you would have caught the hint when I said you and my wife have been doing this together.
Exactly.
She came in that night.
I done invited you like 5 times to work out, nigga.
Because I literally go to the gym. Like, I'll this past week I couldn't because of, I'll tell you later. But what ended up happening was she came in and she's like, yeah, me and Doughboy doing this no sugar. I'm like, that's what's up. Full on donut. Enjoy that.
I got to figure it out. I wanted to ask you this question because this made me think that this might have been the reason why I was so critical upon coming to America too.
Okay.
Because I keep trying to find reasons to get the black community back on my side.
Man.
So let me ask you this. Do you feel like the R-rated genre for comedy is dead? And before you answer, let me ask you this. If you're saying that it is not dead, can you tell me the last R-rated comedy that you laughed at? Because I've been asking people this, and most of the questions, my last comedy that I think I laughed at that was R-rated was probably Dead. What's Dead? Deadpool.
You could
That
call
felt
that
like
a comedy, but that's more of a science fiction comedy.
And if I have to say movie,
let me look it up for you.
It might go as far back as like Hangover for me, like to be like I genuinely laugh. So like, do you feel like the R-rated genre is dead for comedy because of like the social climate that we live in, and you can't really get jokes off like you could back in the day?
That's not the truth. R-rated comedies are very much alive, and they're well, and they're thriving.
What was the last good one you seen?
The last R-rated comedy that I saw that I was like, oh my God. I think Game Night was R-rated.
You're right.
But I'll give you this because this popped up as I hit the Google. Good Boys.
I didn't see Good Boys. But one thing I can say, I think on Netflix there was a movie.
Trip.
What was the movie on Netflix? It was the little kid and the that was funny.
So I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
So there are several R-rated comedies that are fire.
Right.
The problem is this isn't 20 years ago where we get one good movie every year or something like that. Now there's so much content out here that you literally forget a film. Because we get like 80 new movies a month. So I saw Coffee and Kareem, which is what you're talking about.
That was,
and it was so
hilarious.
funny,
Shout out
right?
to King Bats in that movie.
Yeah.
He was shout out King Bats.
Man, he was incredible.
But yes, that movie was funny.
Yeah, it was great. But then next month, 1,000 new movies come out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you forget about it. I'll even give you most notable Girls Trip was so funny. It literally made Tiffany Haddish a bigger star.
It did, made her a household name.
Whereas Keanu was R-rated, I think, but it didn't have as many eyes as Girls Trip did. And Jordan Peele didn't do Get Out yet. That came before Get Out.
Gotcha, yes.
So then after Get Out came, it's like, I'm going to see anything he does. I saw everything beforehand, but you know how the public is.
Right.
So R-rated comedies are very much alive. It's just there's so much content out there. It's hard for people didn't even know about Nobody until we were talking about it.
Facts. I seen that in the comments. People were like, oh, I'm actually going to go. So that's the thing that I think that maybe my criticism has been coming so harsh for, but just because I think that I believe that it's a dying genre. So I disagree with you because I just don't see, even though you're saying back in the day we used to get less movies, I felt that the movies were at least more impactful. Like, I remember how I felt when I seen Friday. Like, I remember how I felt when I seen Coming to America, Harlem Nights, like, you know, movies that kind of Boomerang, shit that just let people do what they wanted to do. And I just don't see that because I think everybody's so politically correct. You can't make so many jokes because you can offend so many people so easily and get canceled.
No.
Because that's what I feel like made Coming to America suffer. You mean to tell me you got Eddie Murphy, you got Leslie, you got Tracy Morgan, you got everybody who you know
except us
puts it up. Exactly. Exactly. But you know you got everybody that goes hard in the R-rated genre, and then we got that. But the more I think about it, I think that we're just the social climate that we're in, that it ain't gonna let that happen.
It's not about social climate because we just gave the example of Good Boys and Deadpool and Girls Trip. Like, there are so many films that have the R rating that are able to push that envelope. The envelope pushing is just different now because we're so desensitized to the things that we weren't desensitized in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right.
So, but you just proved my point. The 90s and the early 2000s, there was not so many at once.
Facts.
And we had a chance to digest it. You had a chance to digest Friday for 5 years before Friday 2 came out.
Facts.
You had years between Coming to America and Boomerang. You could digest it. Same thing with Nutty Professor. These are Eddie Murphy movies. You know what I mean? So even comedies that were outside of him, you had time to really
sit with them
and be like, oh, this is good. And this goes to my point. There's so much content now, you can't digest anything.
Facts.
Coffee and Kareem came out at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was like, I've already forgotten about it, but I loved it.
It was fucking hilarious. And that's the thing, I feel like we do that with music too.
Yeah.
What happened to album rollouts? Remember when you used to Anticico? Do you remember, like, who did you listen to back in the day? Nirvana? That wasn't nobody. I felt racist for saying, I'm sorry. I'm just saying he looks like he would listen to some grunge.
I listen to classic rock.
Classic rock. Okay, so I wasn't too far from the truck. Okay, but do you remember when albums used to come out and waiting to go pick it up, look at the credits? I feel like now niggas you just wake up and be like, oh, Drake dropped. Like, nigga, give me some notice.
Cole, I apologize. First of all, that don't sit well with me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Cole. Swole Cole, don't you take it. Dust it off them shoulders of yours.
Nirvana, bro.
I'm just saying. I was trash for the statement. Okay, let me ask you this then, because I really want to hear what you have to say about this.
Okay.
Swole Cole, can we pull up the video of the lady talking about cheating? Yes. Okay. And we don't have to play the whole thing. We're just going to play like the first minute of it.
Tangerine just started watching the show, so please be careful.
Okay, gotcha.
I thought I was free over here.
Listen to this and tell me what you think.
Okay.
I believe in cheating respectfully. I never tell my man, like, oh, you can go cheat on me.
So cheating respectfully to me is cheating where I don't find out, is having control over your other women, is using condoms and not having babies. Like, cheat respectfully, because believe it or not, your man is cheating. But I'm not leaving my man.
Now,
okay.
when it comes to relationships, now, if you're doing it right, there should be no cheating. You know, there should be open communication. Everybody should know what it is, blah, blah, blah. So there should be no cheating.
Right.
But in the event that there is cheating, would it soften the blow to know your lady was cheating respectfully? Like she was keeping it. Yeah?
Listen, bro. You're not going to stop anybody. This is the thing.
Okay. Wait, you agree with this shit?
Yeah. Do you not know what it's like to deal with adults, bro? First of all, let me just say this. As anybody who's in a relationship, I hope that your spouse is only for you and you're only for them.
Lovey-dovey.
And lovey-dove. All the things that you've always prepared yourself to have from being a little girl and a little boy, okay? I live somewhere called reality. The reality is...
It's called reality?
I don't know if you heard of it. I live in
reality.
You know what I mean? Several people live in reality. And one, you don't own your spouse.
Facts.
These are people. They were people before you came around.
True.
They're going to be people after you leave.
Indeed.
Now, with that said, you have to understand the fact that cheating happens. Okay, cool. Now, if you have the choice to be cheated on and somebody come to you, hey, dope boy, what's up, Blick boy? Not looking you in the eyes. Hey, what's up, dope? Dope boy. Hey, man, I saw your lady out there, right? You ain't see my lady. Yeah, I figured you'd say that.
I brought receipts.
Here's the video, right? And you see all the things that, you know, you feel like, damn, this is disrespectful. I'm seeing all these videos of my girl. I'm seeing her out with the guy and blah, blah, blah. Compared to...
So she wasn't cheating respectfully, obviously.
She wasn't, right?
Okay.
So she comes to you and you make up the list. You look, hey, look here. So don't deal with these type of guys. Don't let me find out about it. I can't tell you how many women I've known that have said, I don't need to know.
Really?
Let me live my life. You live your life. I'm happy with you. Don't let me know anything. Meaning, don't have no girl calling my phone. Don't have no girl DMing me. Don't have no girl talking about she pregnant. Don't have no girl talking about she burnt, all of this crazy stuff. Like, these are the things that you do to make sure your lady isn't disrespected, right?
Right.
And there are several times that this conversation has come up, and then you always end up getting the people who are ridiculous. They're immature to the fact of reality.
They feel like this can't happen to them. You're just supposed to play by the rules.
I wish my man would. I do this. No, you're not.
You ain't gonna do it. Goddamn
because
thing.
you're staying, number one. And
nothing worse than catching somebody and then staying.
I mean, well, this is reality,
right?
Bro.
But it happens.
People get caught cheating and they stay. I've been cheated on, stayed. I've cheated, stayed. Like in relationships. Okay. But the thing about it is, you can't tell me that you're going to be in a relationship with a woman. She cheats on you. You done invested all of this in her. You've given her your life, your love, all of this stuff. She cheats, and then you just say, get out.
Shit.
Okay.
Okay, so let's swirl this back
answer
around.
this.
Okay, so this is how I feel about it. Now, as a nigga who has cheated and has been cheated on, so I don't want to come off on some Derek Jackson shit like I'm the president of the I ain't shit crew. So
you're also the
that.
president of been cheated on. That's
absolutely.
Crazy.
So I've been on both ends of it. At the ripe old age of 41,
Man,
I'm like, nigga, first of all, ain't nobody in this world important enough for me to lie to or to hide nothing from, period. I'm too grown. Like, so I'm like, I look at it, that situation, if I want to have all the bitches that I want, I just don't have to have a girlfriend. And I think that that's the psychological pull that society has, that people feel like they got to be in a relationship. I'm not saying you can't go fuck. You can have bitches named Sunday and Thursday if you want to. I don't care. You can do it. You can do it. But I mean, I just think that there's something weak about cheating. Like, you know, and that because I'm like, I know how much it hurts people.
Right.
And I would never want to do something to hurt somebody. Not that I wouldn't want them to find out. It's I just wouldn't want you to feel that because I know how terrible that shit feels. And it boggles my mind that because a lot of people, no, trust me, I'm in the minority here when I say this.
I live in reality.
Exactly. So a lot of people have conditioned their mind to believe that's a good thing. And I'm like, nah, I think it's so far distorted that motherfuckers will just take anything. Like, no, like if I find out my lady, like I love Tonisha. Like she's dope. I think she's amazing. If I look at her phone one day and she busted open fucking another nigga last week, I'm out. We can end this shit. Like nigga, I be leaving when you complain about me leaving the toilet seat up. You think you gonna fuck another nigga?
Leave.
Bitch, I'll leave. You know that. You know I'm leaving. So, but that only comes from a point of me starting to grow and be like, nah, I'm not taking that shit. But it's astounding to me that so many people be just like, well, don't let me find out.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. I'm not giving anybody the green light to go cheat on their spouse.
Facts.
The first thing I did was answer this question.
You did.
The second thing I said, I'm not condoning cheating. I'm just telling you the reality.
And I'm not attacking you for what I'm saying.
Okay. I didn't take anything like that. I'm saying I'm preparing for the comments. I'm telling you.
Because you know they're going to be there.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you the reality of relationships. It's like we're talking about a bad situation.
Okay.
Out of this bad situation, which would you prefer? We're not saying, hey, would you like to have a relationship that not get cheated on or cheated on? Oh, you know what? I'm going to choose cheated, but I want this kind of... No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying...
that if I had to pick one of the...
Exactly.
If I got to pick the devil or the demon, they're both fucked up. So, okay, I get that. It's just amazing because a lot of my friends think like that too. And a lot of women like kind of embrace that ideology. Like, just don't let me find out.
I heard it from nothing but women. I've never heard a man say, hey, don't let me find nothing. I've only heard women say, don't let me find out.
But that's where I feel like the hypocrisy jumps in. Because most men don't have a strong enough ego to deal with their woman fucking another guy behind their back.
Well, let's talk about that. No man
can deal with that.
Because...
How crazy is that?
They
think about
make
that.
songs for women who've been cheated on. They have a community. Ladies, be with each other. Let's talk to me, girl. We about to go
Mary
to Vegas.
J. Blige made millions off of her pain.
But men don't have that support system because ain't no man gonna tell another man, yeah, you know what I'm saying? She cheated on me, man. Unless it's like your close friend.
That's just wild to me how like we think about it like that. Like men will go out and do shit that it would crush us if the other motherfucker did it.
Yeah.
That's just our flaw as a species.
Yeah, I used to say this really immature thing when I was in my early 20s that I don't stand by. But I used to say, well, you know, the thing about cheating is why it's judged differently with men and women because women have innies and men have outies, meaning we got to wash ours off. They got to wash theirs out.
You're like a philosopher. That is genius.
That was me at 21.
You need to write that book. That is a great statement.
It's a gift.
I like that. Okay, I want to ask you about this too as well. We got another video that we want to show. What would you do if this happened to you? Play this video. Let's just say back in the day when you were working your 9-to-5 jobs.
We're clearly not off the last subject, by the way, but let's go. What's the
video? We can hop back on it. We can get back.
Definitely go.
Okay.
Is actually a new employee. A Goodwill employee sorting through clothing donations in Oklahoma found $42,000 cash. Andrea is actually a new employee at the Norman, Oklahoma store. She found the cash wrapped inside a sweater and immediately let her supervisor know. There were documents with the cash leading them to the owners who say they didn't mean to leave behind the cash in the sweater. They gave Andrea $1,000.
I better be able to monetize this video. You and these goddamn video pop-ups.
We can take it out of post. I think we got the options.
Anyway, here's the thing.
Okay.
Fuck that. Let's go back.
Fuck these hypotheticals. Back to niggas cheating on women. Okay, go back to it. Go.
So in relation to, come on, we're over here talking about some fire. You can come over here.
So, okay, go.
So in this bad scenario.
Right.
Where you want to either get cheated on. This in the scenario, somebody's getting cheated on.
So somebody's gonna get their feelings hurt.
That's how I took what your question was.
Okay.
In that scenario, I'm asking you now, would you rather get cheated on and not know anything about it, meaning she says to you, I'm gonna make sure that nothing comes to you, or B, you don't know that she's fully on cheating?
I would take B because, wait, no. I mean, are you saying that in B I find out another way? So she didn't come to me with the honesty, and I find out another way. All fucked up because she was loose moving in the streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to her being honest about.
Okay. So A is her being honest that I won't let you find out. B, I'm just going to be out here, and if you find out the wrong way, you're going to have your feelings hurt.
Right.
I'd rather take this because if I know that you are probably going to cheat and you're just going to keep it away from me, I would never trust you. And I can't function if I don't trust you. And if I'm just thinking that you're probably fucking somebody else, but you're not, I'm just not finding out, then that's going to make me, for one, feel stupid and naive. Like, how can I not tell? Because I've cheated so much, I can usually see patterns in people's behavior to know that I'm getting cheated on. So it's like, and I just wouldn't want to deal with that. But to the other way, once I find out, then I'm just going to turn up and bounce. And then I can cut it off right there.
Okay, what you just did was, hey, do you like Apple Jacks or Frosted Flakes? Both. That's what you just did. You can't do. You have to choose.
I'm picking B. No, don't do that shit. Let me find out the wrong way so I can break up with your trifling ass.
So you want to find out the wrong way?
Yes.
Okay.
And I found out the wrong way plenty of times. You know.
Yes. The messed up thing is, Doughboy, you're not wired like other guys.
Wait, I've heard this too many times. What do you mean by that?
Okay.
Talk to me.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
When we were talking about the young lady on the first episode, right? To rehash to people who might just be tuning in.
Okay.
Doughboy used to deal with the young lady. We weren't friends yet. I smashed her. Continuously
Several
smashed
times.
her. It hurt his feelings. And at this point, we had become friends already. And I was like, all right, man, I'll stop. And, that was that.
Right.
But to everybody who's also watching, I have a certain code and I have a certain list of people that I don't smash their girls. And at the time of our friendship,
I hadn't made it onto that list.
Yes.
So you were driving up to Sacramento on that donut back in the day.
Absolutely. I don't even know how you knew about the donut. But anyway.
We talking about it.
That's a good one. So I bring that up to say, I remember you and I were in the mall one day. And
when I first moved to LA.
You first moved to LA. We going everywhere. We hanging in the Beverly Center all the time. And I'm in one of the stores, and we're coming down the escalator. And you on the phone. And I'm like, let me let him have his privacy or whatever. So I get off the escalator. I go into Foot Locker. And you come in there, you be like, yeah, man, that was such and such. I'm like, that's what's up, man. You were like, yeah, man, I told her we was in the mall. I was like, you what? He was like, yeah, I told her we was shopping. I was like, why would you tell her you're with me? And he was like,
I still don't know what's wrong with me telling her. Oh, because I still hadn't made it to that list yet.
Well, not only that, it's like you don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. She was out there wild. I was honest with you from day one. So by me being honest with you from day one and her not being honest with you from day one, you chose the side of, oh, man, I'm actually okay with this situation, but I'm really not.
And I really got racked with my feelings on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So when I say you're not like other guys.
So you're just going to stick the mirror in my face. Say, look, it's stupid.
No. Leonardo DiCaprio.
For real. But no, I mean, I think in a perfect world, we're not talking about the perfect world scenarios. Right. I just think that if I had to pick one, let me just, because I'm a firm believer, it's all gonna come clean in the rinse. That's why I don't go through my girl phone. I don't do none of that shit. That's I used to. I don't do none of that. I don't look in messages. I don't try to, because I just walk with a certain energy. Like, look, I know I'm doing right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just push like that. And if you not, that's gonna come up eventually. I just
moved her phone the other night. Like, we was like cuddled up on the couch, and like she got her iPad, and her phone was like under her butt, and I got my hand about to grab the cake, right?
And
then the phone was there, and it was hot. I'm like, hey, and I move her phone over by her iPad, and she grabs her phone and sets it on the thing. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
but see, that's how I say you're a different type of nigga. Because if I see that, I'm probably just gonna be like, what are you? Let me see.
Let me tell you something, though. I've been with Tangerine for 11 years almost.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. You understand me? Listen, I love her with all my heart. She is my wife, and she has literally helped me become the man that you see in front of you.
Yes.
I could not have accomplished anything if it had not been for my wife. With that said, the shit that I have put this girl through for 11 years,
At least
she
you own it.
Deserve 6 niggas. You understand me? I don't give
You're such a real nigga for saying that.
Bro.
Most niggas wouldn't be able to say that.
Come on, man.
I'm not at that level of real
about
nigga
my
yet.
PlayStation right now. You take that away, you're going to see a very angry CT.
That at least you know what pisses you off.
Yeah.
And I think that is, I actually do fuck with that line of thinking. Because what you're doing is, in that situation, you're being fair and honest.
Yeah.
And you're saying, you know what, I've been on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I might deserve this. But then I can understand why you would say, just don't let me know about it. Because that's a deeper meaning. So I fuck with that.
But I also know why, if she were to step out, why she would. Because we had a conversation before where she's like, look here, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to find X, Y, and Z.
See,
I was like,
I don't do well with those conversations.
But it's not an ultimatum. It's literally telling you, hey,
it kind of is though. It's like an ultimatum adjacent.
No,
it is, because it's like you normally wouldn't do X, Y, Z, but you're prefacing it with if X, Y, Z isn't met, then X, Y, Z is going to be met another way. So it almost is.
It's honest. Do you know what? Do you know why divorce happens?
No, but it's like 60% of the time. 6 out of 10 motherfuckers be wrong.
That is. Where are you getting your math?
That's 60%. 6 out of 10.
Who? First of all, I know what 6 out of 10 is, and I know what 60%.
You hear this guy's phone call?
Get along with this guy.
This guy here.
I know averages. I know what percentages are.
Right.
I'm asking you, where are you getting your map? I already looked and saw that apparently your philosophy on lakes was not accurate.
So apparently I'm stupid twice. So apparently I didn't know that lakes were man-made. Then I came on here and said they're all man-made. Dumb doughboy. I don't know.
I'll let you live. I said, hey, man. I was like, let me put that back in my pocket. But so I know the averages. I'm saying the reason a divorce is happening are because of finances or sex, meaning sex you cheated, sex you're not getting enough, and money, right? So if these are the reasons that end in divorce, I mean, these are the reasons that create the divorce, you already know what's going to lead your partner to something. So if your partner is telling you when you can still fix the problem, it's no different than your phone call to me before when I say, yo, there are so many people that go through things and it doesn't end the right way because their friends weren't there to take the call. So many relationships and marriages end because so few people are willing to fix the behavior that it takes to fix the relationship. So if you tell me, hey, these are the problems, fix these,
or this is going to happen,
or someone else is going to fix them.
So you're basically saying, hey, come fix this.
Yes.
And it's not threatening you. It's, I would love for you to fix this, but I need you to know, what type of person. So that's even them being a bigger level of honesty. Yes.
That's what I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, man, you had to drop in bars, man.
Come on, man. If you were in LA, you'd be on my show.
Shaboing Mike.
You gonna be in LA sometime soon? The way he said soon. You gonna be in LA sometime soon?
Side note, I wanted you to say this. So, okay, so I want to ask your opinion on this. So I was talking to Tony the other day, or actually today, and they were talking about Jerry Seinfeld possibly making a comeback to stand-up comedy. And she was just
never left.
But that's what they're saying. Like, he's coming back to do a special or something to that effect.
They?
The streets. I don't know. She said it. You're missing the point of what I'm trying to say. Right. Okay, so he was making a comeback. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I fuck with Jerry, but I'm not like a huge Jerry Seinfeld fan. So I was like, okay. And so she was like, well, who would you want to, make a comeback? And I instantly, it wasn't even a question for me. I was like Jamie Foxx. I just wait and pray for the day for Jamie Foxx to grab the mic again. He is the man that is responsible for me wanting to do comedy from his first, and he has 2 classics under his belt. His first one, the Straight Out the Foxhole, and then I Might Need Security. He got 2 classics.
Straight Out of the Foxhole.
Straight Out of the Foxhole.
Unleashed.
I never seen Unleashed.
I Might Need Security.
I didn't see Unleashed.
Yeah, hit the Amazon.
I haven't seen that.
I'm a Jamie Foxx fan.
Okay, but then I Might Need Security. Classic. So I'm just like, if any of your favorite comics were to make a comeback and get back to doing what you love seeing them do, alive or dead, it doesn't matter. Who would that comedian be that you would want to see come back that you don't see as much anymore?
And I definitely want this to be known. Tony, you out here wild. Seinfeld has never left. He never stopped doing stand-up. First of all, everybody stopped doing stand-up last year.
That was a card pull moment too, because I tried to put it off as the streets, but it was just really Tonisha saying this shit. So got it.
He's never stopped. He just had a Netflix special
in the first place they did comedy at, right?
Man, no, he did another one after that.
Oh wow.
He's literally never stopped doing stand-up.
Tony, shut your ass up.
Man, I would never disrespect the lady. But anyway, my people and I agree with you on Jamie Foxx. I would love to see Eddie Murphy. I'll raise you up. I want to see an Eddie Murphy, Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence stand-up special. And this is what I needed to be. We all know that Martin is one of the greatest hosts in history.
Oh my God! Oh, if he
Martin Lawrence gotta come in hosting, killing, because everybody's gonna go crazy.
Oh my God!
Jamie comes up first. Eddie Murphy closes it out.
That would be the greatest show ever.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. Because Martin hasn't stopped doing stand-up. He'll take his breaks, doing movies and everything. But Martin, bro.
Wait, okay. I don't mean to break character right here, but I'm going to have to do this. And you might not want to answer it, but answer it anyway, because it's just for me. You have met and talked to and worked with and opened up for Martin Lawrence.
Very tight with the family. Shout out to Ursula.
What
Ray,
is he like?
Rob, Wanda.
Like this is the nigga that raised us. Like Martin raised us. Like, what is he like as a person? Like that's probably one of the few. Like I would get starstruck around Martin for real. What is he like as a person?
Man, when I tell you he's one of the coolest, one of the most quietest.
Really, he's quiet.
Like you see Martin, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like,
and then he can turn it on and go on the stage and be a ball of energy.
When I tell you, he's the epitome of cool. Like I'm definitely the most serious comedian you've ever met. But in the past 5 or 6 years, I've really been laying into that, turning it on and turning it off.
I was just thinking about that because just how you were talking about how you love playing video games and stuff. I'm like, that's really interesting to me because when you go on stage, you're like something I've never seen before. So it's just for a nigga that's just be in the house chilling in his own element. There's something really dope about knowing where you're happy at so you can be who you are on the stage. But he's just like cool. Like, do you ever have you ever like eaten with him? Like he's like just
man, eating with Martin, it's like good. You be like, oh, like anything he does.
Like, you so crazy, Martin.
Anything he does, you just be like, oh, it's Martin. You know
right. I don't because I've been around a lot of my heroes. Like I've been around Nick Cannon. Like being around him, like he totally exceeded what I thought he would be. Like, you know what I'm saying? And same thing with Russell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with Ice Cube.
Nick Cannon right now, bro. Nick Cannon needs to stop bullshitting and start funding the films that he wants to do. He did Dance Hall most recently.
He did Underclassmen.
Yes, but well, Jesus, that was so long ago. We're talking about
but he's been on that type of time.
This is what I'm saying. Right. Nick Cannon has the money and the power behind him to create his own DC/Marvel universe.
He does.
Nick Cannon.
Come on.
Nicholas.
Big bro.
Stop bullshit. But all of these guys are so amazing that I want to see this.
Yes, that show that you just said, I would pass out if I was able to see that. So, yes, man. This has been another
But let's answer your question about the $1,000. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, yes.
All right.
So you find $42K in an old parka.
Yeah.
And you're working at the Goodwill.
Parka?
And you're working at the Goodwill. Why do you give it back?
I think you answered your question in your question. It's the Goodwill, which is definitely a place.
And this was like in Oklahoma, and it's $42,000. That's like $42 million there. You could stretch that. Like they be selling houses for $30. Like, nigga, this is a house, $30. Give a nigga 50, keep the change and get your goofy ass out of here.
Here's the thing you got to remember. So you keep speaking as the perspective, excuse me, you keep speaking of the perspective as the person who found the money. What if you were the person who lost the money?
Charge to the game. I think she, like, you know what she says when she says that makes me feel like people don't know how to properly recognize their blessings.
Okay.
The Lord put that there for you.
All right.
Take that. You're not like I don't know what you're making, and I'm not here to disrespect what you're making at Goodwill, but this could help whatever what you're doing. She was talking about she wanted to
financial problems.
She was talking about she gonna take the $1,000 and she like throw a party, for her child. That's great, but I'm just like, well, $42,000. You could put something away for college. You can get some outfit. Like I just don't understand. And then the people that have lost the money, that I always look at them like, because there was another lady that found like $100,000, and the lady didn't give her no reward.
Yeah.
So if you find the money, are you giving it back? I'm not, and I'm not even talking about it, and no one will ever be the wiser.
I'm gonna say this: for people who give the money back, they're not looking for a reward. So when they give the money back and they get the $1,000, it's like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. Like if she wanted money, she would have just kept the money. So that's one thing. Two, if I were the person to find $42,000,
now I don't want to talk about the CT that's sitting across the table from me because I know you're doing well, young
brother.
You just pay taxes. I know we're talking, but I want to talk about the CT. I want to talk about the CT that was getting driven home by Chris Spencer, and you didn't have a place to stay. Let's just say you're working at Taco Bell then, and you find $42K. You
That'd
get it back?
Dope place to work.
Come on.
That would be morbidly obese working at Taco Bell.
But if you found $42K and you know your life could benefit, what you doing?
I think it's obvious I'm keeping the money. I mean, let me tell you something. Me now that you keep talking about is taking the money because it's like, what? $42,000? I'm about to use that to pay my next taxes.
And I know what type of paper you get, so you can never have enough.
Brother,
this has been another great installment. This side note, this is my favorite episode of this podcast so far because I thought it was going to be the worst. I thought it was going to end. I was like, man, I'm going to
because you thought I was mad. That's so crazy, bro.
I thought this was over.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you, Cole. Just give me a
Swole
bit.
Cole, 2 seconds.
So when you said, for everybody, you keep saying you want this 2 times a week. Y'all got to share this, yo. You got to share it and, show it to your people. That's the only way it's going to succeed. So to respond to the first part of your message, we wrote the schedule for you, right?
Thank you.
Of course, I was waiting to see how many days you did the schedule. And then the part that made me laugh, she was like, I had to adjust it for my life. I'm like, nigga, I made it from what you told me. It was like, I didn't make this for me. This is your life.
You literally asked me everything that I did. And I was like, well, I need to make it fine.
I gotta switch it up for me. I'm like, okay. And then when you said, what was the second thing?
I was telling you about, I was sitting in the docket. So the docket. And then I was like, and the scripts, because I know you're going to be shooting next Sunday.
So the script, I'm like, okay, cool. So now I look forward to whatever you see, man. I mean, whatever you create. I'm excited, man. It's going to be dope. And I'm glad we didn't ride together because I always want this.
We should never ride together again.
I mean, hey, man.
Arguments or not, because it goes for great content. I have been your boy, Leonardo DiCaprio. Tell him who you've been. Swole Cole in the mix, and
it's your boy CT. Ladies and gentlemen,
come on,
the Just Us League podcast.
Next time. Come on. Hey. I'm about to go home. I'll be wrapping up the dome. About to go to the ice cream store, get a double 2 cone. About to go to Roscoe's, get an Obama special. Windows start rapping. You know it's something real regretful. What the? Come on, give it to him. Come on.
I'm in the wrong key. I'm too hyped.
All right, Smoko.